Hello and welcome. Today let's talk about Donald Trump. Please leave your like, share and subscription to our channel for more Wiki videos. Donald John Trump, born June 14, 1946, is an American businessman, politician, and the President-elect of the United States. He is scheduled to take office on January 20, 2017. Trump was born and raised in the Queens borough of New York City and received a bachelor's degree in economics from the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania in 1968. In 1971, he took control of his family's real estate and construction firm, Elizabeth Trump & Son, which was later renamed the Trump Organization. During his career, Trump has built, renovated or managed numerous office towers, hotels, casinos, and golf courses. He also lent the use of his name to brand various other products. He owned the Miss USA and Miss Universe pageants from 1996 to 2015, and has made cameo appearances in films and television series. From 2004 to 2015, Trump hosted and co-produced The Apprentice, a reality television series on NBC. As of 2016, Forbes listed him as the 324th wealthiest person in the world, 113th in the United States, with a net worth of $4.5 billion, which would make him the wealthiest president in U.S. history. Trump sought the Reform Party's presidential nomination in 2000, but withdrew before voting began. He later floated the idea of running as a Republican for the 2012 election, but ultimately decided against it. In June 2015, he announced his candidacy for the 2016 election. His platform includes renegotiating U.S.-China trade deals, opposing trade agreements such as NAFTA and the Trans-Pacific Partnership, pursuing energy independence, using all energy sources while opposing climate change regulations such as the Clean Power Plan and the Paris Agreement, strongly enforcing immigration laws, building a wall along the Mexico-U.S. border, reforming Veterans Affairs, replacing Obamacare with a more competitive system, abolishing Common Core education standards, investing in infrastructure, simplifying the tax code, and reducing taxes across the board. Trump quickly emerged as the front-runner in the Republican primaries among 17 contenders. His final rivals suspended their campaigns in May 2016, and in July he was formally nominated at the Republican convention. On November 8, Trump won the presidential election by earning a majority of the Electoral College, although he received fewer popular votes nationwide than Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton. At age 70, he is the oldest president-elect in U.S. history. Trump's campaign received unprecedented media coverage and international attention. Many of his statements and interviews on social media and at campaign rallies have been controversial or false. Several rallies during the primaries were accompanied by protests, while more nationwide protests followed his election to the presidency. Early life. Trump was born on June 14, 1946, in Jamaica, Queens, a neighborhood in New York City, the fourth of 5 children. His siblings are Marianne, Fred, Elizabeth, and Robert. Trump's older brother Fred Jr. died in 1981 from alcoholism, which Trump says led him to abstain from alcohol and cigarettes. Ancestry. Trump is of German ancestry on his father's side and Scottish ancestry on his mother's side. His mother, and all 4 of his grandparents, were born in Europe. His father, Fred Trump (1905 to 1999), was born in Queens to parents from Karlstadt, Germany, and became one of the biggest real estate developers in New York City. His mother, Mary Trump née McLeod (1912 to 2000), emigrated to New York from her birthplace of Tongue, Lewis, Scotland. Fred and Mary met in New York and married in 1936, establishing their household in Queens. His uncle, John G. Trump, a professor at Massachusetts Institute of Technology from 1936 to 1973, was involved in radar research for the Allies in the Second World War, and helped design X-ray machines that provided additional years of life to cancer patients. In 1943, The Federal Bureau of Investigation requested John Trump to examine Nikola Tesla's papers and equipment when Tesla died in his room at the New Yorker hotel. Donald Trump's grandfather was Frederick Trump, who amassed a fortune operating boomtown restaurants and boarding houses in the region of Seattle and Klondike, Canada. The Trump family were originally Lutherans, but Trump's parents belonged to the Reformed Church in America. The family name was formerly spelled Drumpf, and later was changed to Trump during the 30 Years' War in the 17th century. This was highlighted during an episode of Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. Trump has said that he is proud of his German-American heritage. He served as Grand Marshal of the 1999 German-American Steuben Parade in New York City. Education. Trump's family had a two-story Tudor revival home on Midland Parkway in Jamaica Estates, where he lived while attending the Kew Forest School. He left the school at age 13 and was enrolled in the New York Military Academy (NYMA) in Cornwall, New York, where he finished 8th grade and high school. Trump was an energetic child. His parents hoped that the discipline at the military school would allow him to channel his energy in a positive manner. In 1983, Fred Trump told an interviewer that Donald was a pretty rough fellow when he was small. Trump participated in marching drills, wore a uniform, and during his senior year attained the rank of captain. He was transferred from a student command position after the alleged hazing of a new freshman in his barracks by one of Trump's subordinates. Trump describes the transfer as a promotion. In 2015, he told a biographer that NYMA gave him more training militarily than a lot of the guys that go into the military. Trump attended Fordham University in the Bronx for 2 years, beginning in August 1964. He then transferred to the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia, which offered one of the few real estate studies departments in United States academia at the time. While there, he worked at the family's company, Elizabeth Trump and Son, named for his paternal grandmother. He graduated from Penn in May 1968 with a Bachelor of Science degree in economics. Trump was not drafted during the Vietnam War. While in college from 1964 to 68, he obtained 4 student deferments. In 1966, he was deemed fit for service based upon a military medical examination, and in 1968 was briefly classified as fit by a local draft board, but was given a 1Y medical deferment in October 1968. In an interview for a 2015 biography, he attributed his medical deferment to heel spurs. In December 1969, he received a high number in the draft lottery, which would also have exempted him from service. Real estate. Prior to graduating from college, Trump began his real estate career at his father, Fred Trump's company, Elizabeth Trump and Son, which focused on middle-class rental housing in the New York City boroughs of Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island. During his undergraduate study, Fred and Donald Trump used a $500,000 investment to successfully reopen the foreclosed Swifton Village apartment complex in Cincinnati, Ohio. He was given control of the company in 1971 and, in one of his first acts, renamed it to the Trump Organization. He became the president of the organization in 1973. That year, he and his father drew wider attention when the Justice Department alleged that they were discriminating against blacks who wanted to rent apartments, rather than merely screening out people based on low income, as the Trumps stated. An agreement was later signed in which the Trumps made no admission of wrongdoing, and under which qualified minority applicants would be presented by the Urban League. Golf courses. The Trump Organization operates many golf courses and resorts in the United States and around the world. The number of golf courses that Trump owns or manages is about 18, according to Golf Week. Trump's personal financial disclosure with the Federal Elections Commission stated that his golf and resort revenue for the year 2015 was roughly $382 million. In 2006, Trump bought the Many estate in Balmody, Aberdeenshire, Scotland, creating a golf resort against the wishes of some local residents on an area designated as a site of special scientific interest. A 2011 independent documentary, You've Been Trumped by British filmmaker Anthony Baxter, chronicled the golf resort's construction and the subsequent struggles between the locals and Donald Trump. Despite Trump's promises of 6,000 jobs in 2016, by his own admission, the golf course has created only 200 jobs. In June 2015, Trump made an appeal objecting to an offshore wind farm being built within sight of the golf course, which was dismissed by 5 justices at the UK Supreme Court in December 2015. In April 2014, Trump purchased the Turnberry Hotel and Golf Resort in Ayrshire, Scotland, which is a regular fixture in the Open Championship rota. After extensive renovations and a remodeling of the course by golf architect Martin Ebert, Turnberry was reopened on June 24, 2016. Entertainment and media. Trump has twice been nominated for an Emmy Award and has made cameo appearances in 12 films and 14 television series. He has also played an oil tycoon in The Little Rascals. Trump is a member of the Screen Actors Guild and receives an annual pension of more than $110,000. He has been the subject of comedians, flash cartoon artists, and online caricature artists. Trump also had his own daily talk radio program called Trumped, The Apprentice. In 2003, Trump became the executive producer and host of the NBC reality show The Apprentice, in which a group of competitors battled for a high-level management job in one of Trump's commercial enterprises. Contestants were successively fired and eliminated from the game. In 2004, Trump filed a trademark application for the catchphrase, "You're fired." For the first year of the show, Trump earned $50,000 per episode, roughly $700,000 for the first season. But following the show's initial success, he was paid $1 million per episode. In a July 2015 press release, Trump's campaign manager said that NBC Universal had paid him $213,606,575 for his 14 seasons hosting the show, although the network did not verify the statement. In 2007, Trump received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for his contribution to television on The Apprentice. In October 2016, the star was targeted by vandals. Along with British TV producer Mark Burnett, Trump was hired as host of The Celebrity Apprentice, in which celebrities compete to win money for their charities. While Trump and Burnett co-produced the show, Trump stayed in the forefront, deciding winners and firing losers. International versions of The Apprentice franchise were co-produced by Burnett and Trump. On February 16, 2015, NBC announced that they would be renewing The Apprentice for a 15th season. On February 27, Trump stated that he was not ready to sign on for another season because of the possibility of a presidential run. Despite this, on March 18, NBC announced they were going ahead with production. On June 29, after widespread negative reaction stemming from Trump's campaign announcement speech, NBC released a statement saying, "Due to the recent derogatory statements by Donald Trump regarding immigrants, NBC Universal is ending its business relationship with Mr. Trump." Professional wrestling. Trump is a WWE World Wrestling Entertainment fan, and a friend of WWE owner Vince McMahon. He has hosted 2 WrestleMania events in the Trump Plaza and has been an active participant in several of the shows. Trump's Taj Mahal in Atlantic City was host to the 1991 WBF Championship, which was owned by WWE, known at the time as the World Wrestling Federation. He also appeared in WrestleMania 7. He was interviewed by Jesse Ventura ringside at WrestleMania XX. Trump appeared at WrestleMania 23 in a match called The Battle of the Billionaires. He was in the corner of Bobby Lashley, while Vince McMahon was in the corner of Lashley's opponent Umaga, with Stone Cold Steve Austin as the special guest referee. The deal was that either Trump or McMahon would have their head shaved if their competitor lost. Lashley won the match, and so McMahon got the haircut. On June 15, 2009, as part of a storyline, McMahon announced on Monday Night Raw that he had sold the show to Trump. Appearing on screen, Trump declared he would be at the following commercial-free episode in person and would give a full refund to the people who purchased tickets to the arena for that night's show. McMahon bought back Raw the following week for twice the price. Trump was inducted into the celebrity wing of the WWE Hall of Fame in 2013 at Madison Square Garden for his contributions to the promotion. He made his sixth WrestleMania appearance the next night. Political career, involvement in politics, 1988 to 2015. Trump considered the idea of running for president in 1988, 2004, and 2012, and for governor of New York in 2006 and 2014, but did not enter those races. He was considered as a potential running mate for George H.W. Bush on the Republican Party's 1988 presidential ticket but lost out to future Vice President Dan Quayle. There is dispute over whether Trump or the Bush camp made the initial pitch. In 1999, Trump filed an exploratory committee to seek the presidential nomination of the Reform Party in 2000. A July 1999 poll matching him against likely Republican nominee George W. Bush and likely Democratic nominee Al Gore showed Trump with 7% support. Trump eventually dropped out of the race due to party infighting, but still won the party's California and Michigan primaries after doing so. In February 2009, Trump appeared on The Late Show with David Letterman and spoke about the automotive industry crisis of 2008-10. He said that, instead of asking for money, General Motors should go into bankruptcy and work that stuff out in a deal. As Trump publicly speculated about seeking the 2012 Republican presidential nomination, a Wall Street Journal (NBC News) poll released in March 2011 found Trump leading among potential contenders, 1 point ahead of former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney. A Newsweek poll conducted in February 2011 showed Trump within a few points of Barack Obama, with many voters undecided in the November 2012 general election for President of the United States. A poll released in April 2011 by Public Policy Polling showed Trump having a 9-point lead in a potential contest for the Republican nomination for president while he was still actively considering a run. His moves were interpreted by some media as possible promotional tools for his reality show The Apprentice. Trump played a leading role in long-standing birther conspiracy theories. Beginning in March 2011, Trump publicly questioned Barack Obama's citizenship and eligibility to serve as president. Although Obama had released his birth certificate in 2008, Trump said that it was missing and demanded to see it. Trump said that he had sent investigators to Hawaii to research the question, but he did not follow up with any findings. He also repeated a debunked allegation that Obama's grandmother said she had witnessed his birth in Kenya, when the White House later released Obama's long-form birth certificate. Trump took credit for obtaining the document, saying, "I hope it checks out." His official biography mentions his purported role in forcing Obama's hand, and he has defended his pursuit of the issue when prompted. In 2013 he said, "I don't think I went overboard. Actually, I think it made me very popular." When asked in 2015 whether Obama was born in the United States, Trump said he did not want to discuss it further. Earlier, Trump had also called for Obama to release his student records, questioning whether his grades warranted entry into an Ivy League school. In September 2016, Trump publicly acknowledged that Obama was born in the U.S. and falsely stated that rumors to the contrary had been started by Hillary Clinton during her 2008 presidential campaign. In February 2011, Trump made his first speaking appearance at the Conservative Political Action Conference (CPAC). His appearance at CPAC was organized by Go Proud, an LGBT conservative organization. In conjunction with GoProud supporter Roger Stone, who was close with Trump, GoProud pushed for a write-in campaign for Donald Trump at CPAC's presidential straw poll. Christopher R. Barron, co-founder of GoProud, who would later not only endorse Trump's 2016 presidential campaign, but also launch LGBT for Trump, said he would love to see Mr. Trump run for president. The 2011 CPAC speech Trump gave is credited for helping kickstart his political career within the Republican Party. In the 2012 Republican primaries, Trump generally had polled at or below 17% among the crowded field of possible candidates. On May 16, 2011, Trump announced he would not run for president in the 2012 election, while also saying he would have won. In 2013, Trump was a featured speaker at the Conservative Political Action Conference (CPAC). During the lightly attended early morning speech, Trump said that President Obama gets unprecedented media protection, spoke against illegal immigration, and advised against harming Medicare, Medicaid and Social Security. Also in 2013, he spent over $1 million to research a possible run for President of the United States. In October 2013, New York Republicans circulated a memo suggesting Trump should run for governor of the state in 2014, against Andrew Cuomo. Trump said in response that while New York had problems and taxes were too high, running for governor was not of great interest to him. A February 2014 Quinnipiac poll had shown Trump losing to the popular Cuomo by 37 points in a hypothetical election. He also made statements denying climate change that were discordant with the opinion of the scientific community. In February 2015, Trump said he told NBC that he was not prepared to sign on for another season of The Apprentice at that time, as he mulled his political future. Presidential campaign, 2016. On June 16, 2015, Trump announced his candidacy for President of the United States at Trump Tower in New York City. In the speech, Trump drew attention to domestic issues such as illegal immigration, offshoring of American jobs, the U.S. national debt, and Islamic terrorism, which all remained large themes during the campaign. He also announced his campaign slogan, "Make America Great Again." Trump ran as self-described conservative, particularly in social and religious matters. His campaign emphasized American patriotism, with a disdain for notions such as political correctness and media bias. In part due to his fame, Trump's run for president received an unprecedented amount of media attention. Republican leaders such as House Speaker Paul Ryan were hesitant to support him early on. They doubted his chances of winning the general election and feared he could harm the image of the Republican Party. The alt-right movement coalesced around Trump's candidacy, due in part to its opposition to multiculturalism and immigration. Trump was accused of pandering to white nationalists. In August, he appointed as his campaign CEO Steve Bannon, the executive chairman of Breitbart News, described by Bannon as the platform for the alt-right. Some rallies during the primary season were accompanied by protests or violence, including attacks on protesters inside the rallies, and clashes between protesters and Trump supporters outside the venues. Fact-checking organizations have denounced Trump for making a record number of false statements compared to other candidates. At least 4 major publications, Politico, The Washington Post, The New York Times, and The Los Angeles Times, pointed out lies or falsehoods in his campaign statements. Trump's penchant for exaggerating may have roots in the world of New York real estate, where he made his fortune, and where hyperbole is a way of life. Trump calls it truthful hyperbole. Lucas Graves, a professor at the University of Wisconsin-Madison School of Journalism and Mass Communication, says that Trump often speaks in a suggestive way that makes it unclear what exactly he meant, so that fact-checkers have to be really careful when you pick claims to check. Trump has stated that the media has intentionally misinterpreted his words. The New York Times reported in August 2016 that journalistic standards normally prevent mainstream non-opinion journalists from becoming oppositional against a particular candidate, but opined that the Trump campaign was not normal. On November 8, 2016, Trump won the presidency with 306 electoral votes to 232 received by Clinton. It is likely that Trump will receive fewer votes than Clinton, and if so, he will be the fifth person to become president despite losing the popular vote. The nationwide difference is estimated to be higher than 2 million votes. Trump's victory was considered a big political upset, as nearly all national polls at the time showed Hillary Clinton with a modest lead over Trump, and state polls showed her with a modest lead to win the Electoral College. The errors in some state polls were later attributed to pollsters overestimating Clinton's support among well-educated and non-white voters, while underestimating Trump's support among white working-class voters. Trump's victory marked the first time that Republicans would control the White House and both chambers of Congress since the period 2003 to 2007. In the early hours of November 9, 2016, Trump received a phone call in which Clinton conceded the presidency to him. Trump then delivered his victory speech before hundreds of supporters in the Hilton Hotel in New York City. The speech was in stark contrast with his previous rhetoric, with Trump promising to heal the division caused by the election, thanking Clinton for her service to the country, and promising to be a president to all Americans. Religious views. Trump receives blessing from Greek Orthodox priest Emanuel Emelson. September 30, 2015. Trump is a Presbyterian. He has said that he began going to church at the First Presbyterian Church in the Jamaican neighborhood in Queens as a child. Trump attended Sunday school and had his confirmation at that church. In an April 2011 interview on the 700 Club, he commented, "I'm a Protestant, I'm a Presbyterian, and you know I've had a good relationship with the church over the years. I think religion is a wonderful thing. I think my religion is a wonderful religion," Trump told a 2015 South Carolina campaign audience. He attends Marble Collegiate Church, where he married his first wife Ivana in 1977. Marble has said that, though Trump has a long-standing history with the church, he is not an active member of Marble. Trump is also loosely affiliated with Lakeside Presbyterian Church in West Palm Beach, Florida, which is nearby his Palm Beach estate. Trump has said that although he participates in Holy Communion, he has not asked God for forgiveness for his sins. He stated, "I think if I do something wrong, I think I just try and make it right. I don't bring God into that picture." Trump calls his own book The Art of the Deal, 1987, "my second favorite book of all time," and has told campaign audiences, "Do you know what my first is? The Bible. Nothing beats the Bible." Declining to name his favorite Bible verse, Trump said, "I don't like giving that out to people that you hardly know." However, his religious knowledge was questioned after a speech he gave to Liberty University, in which he referred to 2 Corinthians as 2 Corinthians, eliciting chuckles from some in the audience. Trump maintains relationships with several prominent national evangelical Protestant and other Christian leaders, including Tony Perkins and Ralphie Reed Jr. During his 2016 presidential campaign, he received a blessing from Greek Orthodox priest Emanuel Emelson at an Allgemeiner Journal Award ceremony honoring him with the Allgemeiner Liberty Award. He was asked about having Jewish grandchildren, in reference to daughter Ivanka, who converted to Judaism before her marriage to Jared Kushner. Trump said, "Not only do I have Jewish grandchildren, I have a Jewish daughter, and I am very honored by that. It wasn't in the plan, but I am very glad it happened." Controversy involving the Pope in February 2016. While on his way home following a visit to Mexico, Pope Francis said the following when asked about Trump: "A person who thinks only about building walls, wherever they may be, and not building bridges, is not Christian. I just say that this man, Trump, is not Christian if he said it this way. We must see if he said things in that way, and in this I give the benefit of the doubt." Trump responded that it was disgraceful for the Pope to question his faith, suggesting that the Mexican government was using the Pope as a pawn for political purposes, because they want to continue to rip off the United States. Trump added that if and when Islamic State attacks the Vatican, the Pope would have wished and prayed Trump were president, because under his leadership such an attack would not happen. The following day, Director of the Holy See press office Federico Lombardi insisted that the Pope was not launching an attack on Trump nor trying to sway voters by declaring that someone who advocates building walls is not Christian. After the clarification by Lombardi, Trump downplayed his differences with the Pope, saying, "I don't think this is a fight." If you liked it, please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the sign up button below.